This week we're talking about Chris Wilder and his new deal. When should it happen and for how long should it be? Also, the brilliance of Michael Cooper. Is it okay that the Blades are over-celebrating? We'll talk about the rival fans that are fed up of it. January transfer window. What should the Blades be looking at? And get these guys to choose their November player of the month. Thank you very much, of course, for watching. It's 20 minutes of Sheffield United chat and we're reviewing the Sunderland game. Connor, I enjoyed that as a neutral. Once again, thank you very much for putting on a decent show. But were you a little bit lucky to be the winners of this one?
I mean, it could have gone either way, really, couldn't it? It was an end-to-end game, very open. It's what I like to see a side come to Lane and actually want to play a bit of football for a change, because there's not many teams that will come to Bramall Lane this season and actually set up to come to attack. It's constantly us trying to break them down like the Oxford game. But yeah, it could have gone either way, obviously. Cooper with the unreal save. And to be fair, in terms of shots, they didn't have loads of chances. But like you say, it was just fine margins in terms of things. And it was great to see Davis get his goal.
Absolutely. Love Tom Davis as an Evertonian myself. Really pleased to see him grab that one. Dan, any complaints about the red cards at all? Either of them?
Not really. I thought Suter got turned a little bit too easy and pulled him back, and it's a second booking in it. But I do think, and lads might disagree with it, but I think there could have also been a case with Jack Robinson, because I thought he was going to get a shot off in it, and we've got nobody covering that close to goal. But I'm not bothered. I'm glad he weren't sent off, but no complaints from me really.
Yeah, it's an old double jeopardy rule, isn't it? They give the penalty and they don't give the red card. Shax, your views of the game, who impressed?
Impressed. Peck, Souza. Thought they battled hard in the middle of that park, especially second half. I thought they both grafted. I actually thought Robinson did all right. I know I gave away that penalty, but if Souter didn't turn like an 18-ton wagon, then I don't think he'd have been put in that situation. I think he came across because he saw Souter had been turned. And for as brilliant as Souter is, I don't think turning against somebody with pace is his strong point. So I thought Jack Robinson had a good game. I thought Sariki, when he come on again, quality. McCallum, when he come on, I thought he was good again. So yeah, I mean, I don't think it will look. I think it was just an end-to-end game. One of us is gonna pinch it, and I just think it was us that pinched it. I don't think Cooper saved the penalty, but then other than that, I don't think he's got mucky for 90 minutes. I can't remember him doing out really.
Top of the league, fellas, as well. Now we can officially say you can not going to be budged from here. Here's some takes on the game. Kev says at the end of the season there will be a few games we look back on and say that was where we won it, and this one could be one of them. It was a proper Wilder performance as well. Played awful, but dug in, grafted, and one bit of quality wins it. Made up for Davis as well. Up the Blades. On the Wilder bit, Dan says there's two things opposition fans now need to learn, and it's that Chris Wilder will never be better than when he's managing Sheffield United, and that Sheffield United will never be better than being managed by Chris Wilder. Connor, honestly, when he was reappointed back when you were in the Premier League last season, were you slightly sceptical at all, or did you always know it was going to come good?
I've always liked Wilder. Obviously, I know how he left. It weren't greatest, and everyone says, "Oh, he left out back door and all this and that." But at the end of the day, there was no one better suited to come in. No one else wanted a job at that time. The position we're in, everyone knew we weren't down, but we were guaranteed to go down. How we were, the morale, everything around the club. And he was the only man that had taken it on. And I rate him for coming back and taking it on in such a difficult position. And then to be able to take on that rebuild himself and rebuild the squad how he has. A lot of people were sceptical coming into this season thinking, he's not going to be able to do it, sort of thing. But he's made an unreal squad. He's brought the youth through as well, brought the academy lads through. And I know obviously we're maybe a few players short, but in terms of what he's done, I think it's been unreal.
Okay. Joe echoes those points. Not played anyone decent. Parachute payments. Wild's a dinosaur. Haven't got any squad depth. Premier League wages. You're first with 18 games and 38 points. 12 clean sheets. 8 wins at home. Not bad for a whole new team. And Sepp says 5-year deal. Do it. So then, Dan, Does he need a new deal being sorted out now, or do we not worry too much about that? And if so, how many years does he get?
100%. I think he need a new deal, but I think whatever a Sheffield United fan is managing Sheffield United, I don't think anybody that comes in for him is going to go and take that job while he's managing us, because it's just the even when he managed Middlesbrough and Watford, it's not the same, is it? And for me, give him a contract, give him a lifetime one, give him till he retires. I'm not bothered, because I think whatever he's managing our football club, we're in best hands, regardless of what anyone says. I think it's like we all are. We'd all behave like him. We'd all, sing songs in pubs after. It's just, he is what he is. He's, you don't see that with any other manager, because they don't support the club. I'm not saying they don't care like he cares, but from my seat where I sit, bang on the first row behind the dugout, I see and hear everything. He's kicking bottles. He's frustrated. Last week he got Shackleton to warm up after 40 minutes because City Peck misplaced a pass. Those little things. That's what I want from a football club. And I think when he left, to be fair to him, Paul Eckenbottom coming in and instilled a little bit of that, because Barnes, the local lad, been around academy. I think it's what the football club needs. And while everybody's hating it, I love it, because it's great. Let them hate it forever, but we'll never get a manager like that again. I don't think. I think him, Warnock, Dave Bassett, all them three incredible managers. But yeah, definitely give him a lifetime contract for me. Not bothered, 10 years, 20 years, whatever he wants.
Yeah, he's not making many friends, is he, Shaq? To be fair, we've always got the Danny Roll song, and then falling out with the Sunderland manager at the end of it. I'm not sure what that was particularly about, but he will care one jot about that. Do you echo everything that Dan said there about? Look, he can be as difficult as he wants on the touchlines. He's our manager, and we love him to bits.
Yeah, I don't want no friends. I don't. Why would you want to be friends with anybody in the league? I hope they all hate us. I hope they all want to be rivals with us. And I can't think of any reason why I want to be friends with an old. You know what I mean? West Brom, whoever in Millwall, Leeds, Wednesday. I hope they all hate us. So it just adds more spice to every game. And it just gives them something to moan about, doesn't it? I mean, it's a coincidence. They all hate because they're all jealous because we're top at league. So obviously you're only hating because your team's not as good as ours. And the league is showing that, whether you want to argue with, we're better at this, the league tells you that we're better than you all. So that's the reason that you hate us.
Okay. Let's leave Wilder there. You all seem to be agreed on unanimously on him. I mean, as a neutral, I think he's great for the league. You just need a manager like that. Just doesn't care about anything other than his club. Michael Cooper. Let's talk about him a second. Then Connor, man of the match. He was given the award by Sky against Sunderland. First of all, was that a good save or was it a bad penalty?
I'd probably say 50-50. The penalty weren't really struck with any sort of venom, weren't in corner sort of thing, but he hit it low, which is obviously one of the key things. You need to be able to get down low, and he did well, and he saved it. And it's more the fact he palmed it away from danger and not straight back at him sort of thing. And like Shaq said earlier, other than the penalty save, he didn't really have much to do. So he could have maybe done the match man of the award to someone else, but he still deserves it just for the penalty save itself.
Yeah. 12 clean sheets then, Dan. Last time you conceded at home was QPR, which Cooper wasn't in goal for. How much of the defensive success is down to Cooper, would you say?
I'd say quite a bit of it, but then I think the way that we've changed our shape this year, the way that we've worked on things defensively, you can see why we're so difficult to break down, why good teams like Sunderland didn't have many shots at us as well. But he's just an incredible goalkeeper, and I think personally he plays for England one day. Not with us, unfortunately, but I definitely think there's an England keeper in the making. He's very, very good. Everything he plays out, he's got the confidence to play out when he needs to play out. But he's all round how he manages his box. He's just fabulous goalkeeper. You don't see many errors in him either, which is unusual. But yeah, he's a fabulous goalkeeper. I think he's as good a keeper as what we've had since Dean Henderson, to be honest. So I'm quite pleased with him.
Absolutely. We don't want to get into the James Trafford debate too much here, Shaq, because it's gone around and around in here. But James Trafford at Burnley gets into the England side as the third choice. Do you think Cooper's now putting a claim on getting the next call up?
I'm not gonna get carried away. I've only seen him for 13, 14 games. I'm not going to confess to have watched any of Plymouth's games before that, but the 13, 14 games I've seen, he's looked very good. I've seen Trafford a lot more than I've seen Cooper. Obviously, when watched England and stuff, England under 21s when he made them saves to win its and I'm not going to start knocking Trafford because I think he's a brilliant keeper as well. And I think, like Dan said, he might play for England one day, but there's a lot of people he's got to get in front of to get that shirt. Yeah, Dean Henderson, for one, he's only a couple of years older than him. I think Henderson's 26, is he? I think Henderson's, personally for me, is best keeper I've seen at Lane since Alan Kelly, and I think that's by some distance. But obviously that's only because I've not really seen much of Cooper. But what I have seen, he's got a brilliant defence in front of him. We've played a lot of teams what have not. I mentioned it last week. They've not had many shots to do, so are a few of his stats a bit misleading? You know what I mean? Like a lot of them were saying he's not conceded a goal. Well, Wednesday didn't have a shot on target. Sunderland had 2 shots on target. I think Stoke and Swansea had 1. So he's not actually faced that many shots yet, but he's doing brilliant at the minute. But I'll judge him more after 46 games rather than a good 16 games, if that makes sense.
Absolutely, it certainly does, yeah. And that Boxing Day fixture's looking all the more juicy, isn't it? Against Burnley. A couple more from the game, and then we'll get your thoughts. I've got to say, my time as a Blade, seeing Tom Davies score the winner was one of the most emotional goals I've ever seen scored at Bramall Lane. So pleased for him personally, but also pleased for his teammates who have been his support mechanism. Connor, was it? Do you understand that emotion when that goal went in?
Yeah, definitely. From a personal point of view for Tom, obviously he's been struggling with injuries for quite a while now. Obviously he's opened up on his mental health as well, which is obviously a massive thing they're trying to get more lads to speak about, obviously, especially in football. So just for him to go through that sort of stuff and then being able to come back, even if it was for that brief moment and put a shift in and then go and score the winner in such an important game, I think it would have meant a massive deal to him, and certainly understand the emotional aspect of it.
Okay. And this probably ties into the next bit. So the over-celebration tweets that we've seen and comments from rival fans, we've seen them from Wednesday fans, of course, when you won the derby. We now saw them from Sunderland fans, Leeds fans also jumping in. I selected one here. Yeah, judging by the celebrations, congratulations on winning the league again. Many fans saying you are over-celebrating these wins as if you have won the league. Dan, you could care less, I'm sure, but are you over-celebrating?
No, I don't think we are. After the season we went through last season, and you look at Tom Davies, how long he's been out for, you'll know better than any of us with him being at Everton, but you know, the togetherness in the group, the way we've responded to last year, and this is why we're doing it, because it does wind people up as well. But I don't think it's over celebrating. I think it's a manager instilling Sheffield United into them, what that means, and we see that. And no, it's not over celebrating. You've scored a goal in a game against a team who are promotion rivals. 86 minutes, 2 sending offs, a penalty save. Your player who's been injured more than anybody else comes off the bench and scores, and we do. You know, it just shows you the togetherness in the group. And no, I'm not interested in what anybody says about. I mean, Leeds United. You know, how can they talk when they tried to sign Gus Hamer for 50 pence? You know, what a slapping face that were. He's better than probably most of their squad on his own. But you know, now I'm not interested in what they say really. I want them to do it more and more. I want them all to go to the pub and do it more and sing songs, sausage roll and Leeds. You know what I mean? I love it. It's great.
What I find interesting as well, I've always thought that as well, not just in this situation. When you say over celebrating, who sets the bar of where over celebrating is? Who's in charge of that? Then is that just these sour, bitter fans that have got nothing to celebrate about are saying that it's over celebrating? Because, like, you know what I mean? Who died and put them in charge of deciding what's over celebrating and what in? I don't think we
if we
celebrated enough then. Should we say that? I think we're under-celebrated. I think we should have
think if we
fireworks
score-
next time.
If we score a winner against West Brom, in the last minute we all want to run on pitch and pitch invade and go over the top a little bit more.
Yeah, we'll have fireworks and a bank holiday then, and then they'll say that's
exactly.
over.
Yeah.
I think one of you said it earlier when we started, is that Sheffield United are rubbing fans up the wrong way. Just how good you are, just how good Wilder is. Everyone expected it to crumble at some point, and it hasn't. But you've been a joy to watch. I'm not just saying that because you're sat here. I generally have enjoyed watching your games. So whether it's jealousy, bitterness, hatred, whatever it is,
it's like they've got tweets loaded up or X posts where they've got them loaded up, ready to jump on us backs when we're about to lose, and then they have to delete them, and then they have to change them for, oh, you're over celebrating, oh, you're going off like you've won league. You actually had loaded up, oh, you couldn't beat Sunderland, oh, you look, but they've had to delete them, and then they just go back to the same old, you're over celebrating, you're boring. That's what you are, you're boring. Anybody who writes that word is boring.
Well said. Right, 2 more points before we finish then. As kids are writing their list to Santa this month, Connor, so let's write ours. What do the Blades need in January as a priority?
For me, I'd say this just proved at this instance in terms of the sendings off of the centre-backs. I think we definitely need maybe one more in just for that cover in case anything does happen again in this situation. And I'd like to see us go for a left-sided forward so we can put Aimer more central. As he's recently shown, he gets all his assists when he's in the middle of the pitch. If we can get him in middle and get a proper winger in, I think a winger and a centre-back, maybe even a striker, if we've got the funds. But for me, 2 or 3, and I think will be good for promotion. Okay,
well explained. Dan, do you want to add to that? Change it?
Yeah, I'm gonna use 2 players as examples who I think could come in and really improve us. While we've got Blaster out injured as well, I think Philip Billing and Brent Barrett and Diaz. I think it'd get us over the line. I think Connor was talking about a centre back, but I think while you've got Alfie Gilchrist, who's predominantly a centre back that can also step in, and Femi Sariki's, his rise. We've got plenty of options across that line, but I don't know. I think another centre midfielder, another attacking player, whether that's a winger or a striker, I'm not too fussed. But yeah, we are light. I mean, we can't be relying on Ryan O'Neill if we get injuries up there as well. So I just think use your 2 loans and then see what else comes after that.
All right, settle this one for us, Shucks.
I'd like to see probably 2 attacking players. I'm not too bothered about defence. I think we're fine there. Obviously, we're light at minute, but it's not very often we're going to have 2 suspensions. So I'd like to try and possibly get McAtee back. He's not playing at Man City now. I think he'd be a good signing. And David Brooks as well. I don't think he's playing at Bournemouth, so I'd go for Brooks and McAtee for the simple reason I've said it a million times. I think Oweir's crap. I thought that I watched the other night, he got subbed off at half time. I'd have brought him off after 10 minutes. We've got to get somebody that runs at players that, like a McAtee, he gets you off the edge of your seat. Brooks, again, he gets you off the edge of your seat. We just need somebody like that to get on that left. And then I think you've got Raksaki on one side, and then you'd have a threat on the other side. Because at minute, what they're doing, teams are playing, is they just go and put 3 men on Raksaki because they know that on the other side of the pitch, there's just no threat whatsoever. So Wednesday did it, took Raksaki out of game. Sunderland did it, took Raksaki out of game. But we need to make it harder for them. We need to make it more or less obvious and have attack from both sides for me.
Okay. Great shouts. If we missed anything, let us know, obviously in the comments below. And finally, let's close November down then by asking you to put forward the November Player of the Month. Connor, give us yours first.
Just for the goals alone, obviously stepping up to the plate since Moore's been out injured, you've got to give it Tyrese Campbell for me.
Dan?
Yeah, I've got to agree with Connor there. I think Tyrese Campbell, but I think where do you start really? I think you could possibly give it to a lot of the players. Last few games, Sidney Peck's got to be mentioned for me. Femi Shariki, I know he's only played sub appearances, but there's a lot of people in there. Again, yeah, I'm going to go with Campbell because I think he surprised everybody. It reminds me so much of the Leon Clark signing, where he's not really been prolific wherever he's been. He's come in and he's got the confidence to go and score goals and play well. So yeah, I'll go for him.
Okay, 2 for 2. Shax?
I'm going to go Peck. I think Campbell's been brilliant, but I'm not one for giving somebody like an award because they've touched ball once and scored. If that makes I couldn't give it Tom Davis the other night. I couldn't give it Cooper the other night because he's made 2 saves. I'm going to go Peck because I just think for 90 minutes, stepping into Arblaster's role as well, which is also very difficult. I just think 90 minutes every game, he just gives everything. He's into every tackle. He covers every blade of grass. He's passionate. He just does everything for me. Everything non-stop, like a proper athlete. And I think we've got a good player on his hands in Peck.
Absolutely. I think we highlighted that last week, of course, didn't we, as well? If you haven't watched that video, go and have a look at that one as well. Thank you very much, all of you. We'll see who the official club one is next week. A good look in the FA Cup draw, of course, as well, this week as well. And we'll see you at the other side of the West Brom game, which, of course, is next Sunday. Enjoy your week. Enjoy the football. Thanks so much for joining us.